Three more figures. Yeah.
They get some more.
I'll get some.
That's the youngest. That's a little boy right there. Two. Him and his little sister, and the wife are, they're, the two youngest ones are a year apart, and they have one.
Yeah.
And the little girl got the same birthday today. February, my oldest is February 6th, I got February 7th, February 8th, and my wife's February 8th. February is,
She'll be 16 in September. Yeah, well, old. She's got braces, so she had her appointment today, and they told us the next appointment she'll get it, and then on Tuesday. She's been here on about a year, going on 2 years. But when she does the business conference, and her friend Sam was with us, of course, leave the house without saving anyway, so, but it'll, so we just plan to make that. But first we had to go to Walmart, cause they have that antibacterial soap. Cheyenne and Sandy just got, their extra ears to, you know, extra hole in there. And then afterwards, we had to go to Zaxby's and Taco Bell. Well, so did one McDonald's, we really go to McDonald's. Cheyenne, Zaxby's and Taco Bell's right next door. She said, then I want Taco Bell, and I thought, that's good. She already knew, she, I said, them over at Taco Bell get hurt, and I got theirs. Oh, my gray hair is falling.
A little greater.
I've been waiting on mine to turn gray, like just turn white. And a couple of months ago, I cut my hair, she said, I really don't think you're ever going to totally turn gray. She said, I think you might be as gray as you ever gonna get. And I said, both of them have gray hair. Now, my dad stayed, his hair stayed dark until he was probably in his 80s.
try to make it.
I'm sitting back here solving. I mean, I usually sit that second row over there. Yeah, we gotta be like that. Just don't feel right. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna go out there.
meeting to order. Opening prayer, Mr. Jean, to lead us off.
Yes. Father, we come before you again tonight, thank you for giving us another day, thank you for blessings of life. Continue to pray for our nation, our city, pray for our president, our mayor and council, pray that you give them wisdom and direction in the way you help us go. Ask you in God's name.
Amen. Face the flag, salute, pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Good, here, Councilman Crump. Here. Councilman Jordan Ritchie. Here. Councilman Ray. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Chapman. Mayor McIntyre.
Here. Now I need a motion to adopt the agenda we have in front of us.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda we have presented in front of us.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yep, I'd like to continue to bring up the missing unresolved items that we've been talking about since December. So having a water capacity operations plan for us to talk through what our needs are, talk about the financial reports and while we're not getting regular financial reports and wanted to discuss our city organizational ordinance that we're not following closely enough. And also having, we've talked about budgeting, we also have the water department budget that's been requested. One of Keith's concerns was a capital improvement plan, so that's been requested. And we also need to establish a reserve fund. How much of our funds are we putting up for an emergency or rainy day? The sewer upgrades, we haven't finished talking about the sinkhole, it's continuing to sink. We haven't completed the city handbook, and we haven't finished the conversation about employee pay raises, and nor the drainage issues that came up in the last 2 meetings.
Okay.
And so I make a motion to add those things to the agenda. Make a motion to amend the, motion to add those things to the agenda.
Okay, Matt made a motion, I need a second.
A second.
All in favor, we're in discussion.
Keith gave us this back in November, I believe, last year, 6 critical things, and, we're not working on them, so.
Keith is working on it. That's right, Keith? Sir. Okay, so what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, council's not aware he's working on it. We haven't had a conversation. You figure you're having a meeting behind closed doors?
Any more discussion? All in favor of Matt amending the agenda? All opposed? Now I need a motion to accept the agenda we have in front of us. All in favor of it? All opposed? Okay, moving on, formal business, Chief Fields, Street Park.
This is second reading of this, ordinance I'm trying to amend. And, I looked over the, mayor and council thing, it didn't say no way that I had to, it didn't say that it had to be in a public forum. I was gonna ask the council, can we suspend the rules and pass this, because I'm constantly getting calls from the citizens about the park.
Well, you talked about it at the last meeting, so this is second reading, so we don't have to suspend the rules.
It's not a second reading. It wasn't read at the last meeting. It was presented to council at the time of the meeting. The public is not aware of this ordinance, nor what it's in it.
The public is the reason why I'm up here.
Well, then, have they been given a copy of this ordinance? Has it been published so that they can see it and they'll be aware of it?
Well, I just thought we could suspend the rules, so. So you're saying it has to be a public?
So the public has to be aware of the ordinance so that they can speak to the ordinance. That's the whole point of, before you make a law, the public has to give their input. But the ordinance in and of itself is actually very legally deficient. I mean, it improperly cites Alabama code. It's missing definitions for what determines a wrecked, junked, or inoperable car. It's very ambiguous and a lot of presumption in the ordinance. There's no due process enforceability in the ordinance, so there's nothing, no penalties listed or what can be
The
done.
previous didn't define a junk vehicle.
I'm just reading about it.
I'm just saying, you just said it don't define it, the previous, ordinance didn't do all that.
I'm discussing the one that's in front of us now.
But I'm just saying, you compare something to something. Only thing that is different, I made it subdivision, and I took out the 48 hours, part. It's the exact same thing.
Well, it needs to be, we've had several components to make it a properly enforceable, ordinance, right? So this needs to be looked over legally so that we can make sure that it's sufficient.
The previous ordinance was drafted by the city attorney and presented to the council.
We don't have a city attorney.
So what's wrong with, is that the same order?
It's the same ordinance.
It's the same one.
No, this one says, this one gives no time frame or anything for any car parked anywhere. The other one had 48 hours.
That's what he's saying, took that out.
He said
So the other part, we should be.
So you're telling me people that come visit family on Christmas, you're gonna tell their rides?
No, we're not.
Well, that's what this
We talking about
says.
the day-to-day.
That's what this says. This doesn't give any definitive description
Okay, then,
about what is and what's not.
we have a problems with people parking in the streets. That parking 4 days consecutive hours, if you got a car parked on this side of the street, and you got one direct side that park on the side of the street, if the fire department would have called on it, they would not be able to make it through. Waste management is also said they couldn't get through. So, only thing I did was amend it to make, it took the 4 days consecutive hours. Now, if we got Christmas, Thanksgiving and all that, come on now, we gonna do what we gotta do, but we talking on a day-to-day basis.
Well, anybody that's impeding the flow of traffic can be towed anyways. So what you're saying is they would be impeding the flow of traffic and you would have them removed.
So basically, you want me to call a regular, if somebody's house on fire, for the fire department to get there? That's what y'all saying?
No, that's not what I said.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's,
Sean Ross blocked yesterday.
I'm just saying there should be a time limit. I mean, for birthday parties, so on and so forth, and things of that nature. I mean, nobody's parking, directly in the middle of the road.
well, if you go down King K. Cole, it's not a road, technically, you can't really park one car down the road.
The city street?
Yes. And it has been adopted.
So I need a motion to accept this parking ordinance.
I make a motion that we accept this parking ordinance presented by Chief Fields.
Need a second?
Have we had any legal counsel look over this before we approve it?
Well, we had a legal counsel, but, you know,
Sandra made a motion, I need a second. I second it. Any discussion?
The public has not had a chance to look over this and be aware of this. I think this is problematic.
Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed?
I'm gonna abstain until we get legal counsel.
I think it puts the city in jeopardy at the end of the day.
and, the other page is I'm doing a bi-weekly stats and monthly stats, so I can give y'all some of the council.
So this is just saying, you just want to enforce it in subdivisions, nowhere else.
Yes, that's what you had a problem in the subdivision.
So you're basically saying anywhere else in the city, anybody else can park on the side of the road, you don't know nothing about it.
Subdivision got the smaller roads.
That's not what this is. That means we're singling out the people in the subdivisions and everybody else.
With the people in
We're not
subdivisions,
about-
is white problem.
I mean, he did modify the original ordinance, and so it didn't remove it from being enforceable.
That's where the issue is.
Okay. Anything else, chief?
Oh, that's it, I just want to let everybody know who keeps shooting down.
God.
Okay, next on the agenda is key updates.
Yes, sir. First on the list, we have both the asphalt projects, we have all the paperwork in order, and we have the signed contracts for the annual asphalt and overlay. You've already approved the first round of road repairs that we will be taking care of as soon as we can get them on site. Also, we have the Brookhaven, the bonds have come in, and we have all the contracts signed. The schedule that they're gonna start is the first Monday in August, which is, take that back, the second Monday in August, which is a couple of weeks away. You'll see them out there, they'll start prepping, and then we will pave. The roads will take 3 or 4 days to pave that we have on the schedule. And the Brookhaven project will take quite a bit longer. The storm drainage and the curbs will come first, and then the paving will come later. So we'll be taking care of both of those projects for you, and we'll keep you informed as we progress. It's my understanding we have the bond money in place, which is great. It makes everything a lot easier. And so we'll be moving forward on those projects. On the pavilion project, we've notified the demo contractor that was approved, and we've asked him to start right after the last program y'all have on the schedule, which is August the 9th. So that next week they will be in the demo, and they begin the construction for the new pavilion that had us do.
Okay,
So,
all right.
next on our list is the water tank that you've asked us to look at. Our hope is in a couple of weeks to have you some budget numbers, and we're gonna keep knocking at it till we get that thing. That's a big project, but we're working on it hard, and that's next on our list for you.
Okay,
So I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
all right, thanks.
Yes, sir?
Where are we at on the, upgrade to the lift station in Overland? What?
They are completed, actually, is the last I've heard. I'm assuming that everything tested, about a week ago. I can call over the water and just get that confirmed, but they should be completed.
And to upgrade the throughput, the choke points in the city, what's the plan for those?
We're working on those simultaneously. You know, we're getting more water, but we wanna streamline that and bring that to you. So we're evaluating those areas. They're not widespread, but there are a couple areas we've identified to look at. We're gonna bring you some budgets for those, and then you can decide if you want us to push forward on them or not.
Okay. And the capital improvement plan, where is that at?
Behind the water tank kinda is first.
That's-
Again, a capital improvement plan is a lot more of, planning.
Yeah, large scale
So,
project.
typically we see that, you know, just over different times, and, you can think of it more as a wish list. It's not a hard rule. But we'll put those things on there as we have those that we're working on actively.
Mhm.
So they kinda come off of the capital improvement plan, and now we're actually working on them. So the two, where our first two are actually under design.
Mhm.
But it is a good idea to kinda keep those things moving forward. Identifying any roads, we put a budget with it, and then that gives you some planning tools to figure out what you wanna do next.
All right, thanks, Keith.
Yes, sir?
All right, next on the agenda is approve the minutes for 6/17/2025. I need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve minutes from 6/17/2025.
I second it.
We haven't gotten any revised minutes after the things that were pointed out the last meeting. I mean, so they're still pretty deficient.
What's wrong with them, man?
Alright, so again, we had some statements at the back that were, you had someone making concerns about a council person. The council person responded, and there was nothing written about the council person's response, so it makes it look like it's a very targeted comment. You had another gentleman at the end that made some comments at the end, and his comments were just blatantly misrepresented in the comment, or in the minutes. And you had the omission of you had the omission of the objection to certifying the issues with the the new ordinance changes. There was a, let's see, talked about fireworks. Just trying to summarize it. Yep, there were several comments in there about Councilman Ray that were, accusatory, that were speculative, that were not listed as they were speculative. And they were some of the residents' comments were very tailored and didn't match what was actually said. So that the minutes were doctored to like change what was actually said during the meeting.
What should it say?
So, there, at the comments in the back, Janice McIntyre criticized Councilman Matthew Torrisi for resisting investment in road repairs and improvements in the black community, specifically Dillard Park. She questioned whether Mr. Torrisi's use of a drone for surveillance properties and individuals without notice violates the Fourth Amendment protections. That was all that was in the minutes. Left out my response to her comment that the accusations were ridiculous and without basis, and emphasizing that I've always called for planning and organization and opposed initiatives that were not properly planned. I also stated that a suggestion of a Fourth Amendment violation was absurd on its face for a drone. In the second part, let's see. Clyde Beverly asked who owns the first two lots in Brookhaven. Mr. Beverly gave his concerns about the removal of the police department and going under the county and fire protection across the track. Mr. Beverly is deeply concerned about the disrespect for the council citizens, threatening employees and lawsuits, and the city needs to get clarity about the two lots at the entrance of Brookhaven. The amended entry should read that he asked who owns the first two lots at the entrance to Brookhaven, alleging the lack of transparency in the land use and public safety decisions. He raised strong objections to eliminating the local police and citing citizen safety. He talked about employee intimidation and ongoing litigations as sign of administrative breakdown. So, I mean, you highlight some parts of this conversation and leave out the more relevant parts. I mean, you know, I used to write it up for y'all, but then y'all criticized me for writing them up. So if you'd like, I can document it and submit it for the next meeting.
All right, Darius made the motion to accept the minutes. I second it. All in favor of? All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, new business is the resolution 2025-0715, election manager. And that's, voting, make teacher to hold the election, the clerk, so I can't do it because I'm running in the election. Normally it would be the mayor.
I think it's extremely problematic to have your cousin do it instead. Really, I mean, it's a conflict of interest based on Alabama code, Alabama ethics.
It's
Not,
What is your position?
not. The position as city clerk requires we.
it's the city clerk.
I suggest to get someone, reach out to the appropriate judge and get someone to fill in. Because I mean, it just shows it's a conflict of interest, and it shows, it doesn't look good for the city. So I think to be safe, I think if we do better to hire, or to swap positions with someone else. It's the perception of what's going on. So I mean, it just is what it is.
It says the city clerk, and if the mayor is running,
I mean, there's still a strong family relation, and it doesn't look good.
that's your opinion.
That's your personal opinion.
Need a motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration.
Information that we, suspend the rules for immediate consideration, adding the city clerk as the election manager for the upcoming election on August 26th, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'm just gonna reiterate that, this is a hugely undermined voter trust and it has an appearance of impropriety. I mean, I would suggest you don't, pursue this.
Any more discussion? All in favor of? All opposed? Okay, next is, resolution 2025-017.
We gotta vote on the resolution. Suspend.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I need a motion to vote on the resolution.
We did not suspend the rules. It didn't pass. It has to be unanimous to
Yeah,
suspend
it
the
has to
rules.
be unanimous.
Those laws are pesky, aren't they?
All right, next on the agenda is the resolution for 2025-017 absentee management.
I make the same claim. We should reach out to I make a motion that we reach out to the probate judge and seek a replacement, non-biased replacement. So that's my motion. We reach out to the county probate judge to seek a non-biased replacement.
Okay, Matt made the motion. Need a second. Died from electing second. We just have to vote on it tonight. You don't have to suspend the rules to vote on it tonight.
That's fine.
Okay. Next is approve the minutes for, 7/1/2025. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from 7/1/2025.
Any discussion?
Yeah, can I ask if y'all read the minutes?
Yes, Matthew.
Okay, good, because, Mayor Pro Tem James Chapman is in attendance, but he is also absent, and that's at the very top of the minutes, and it's pretty wild that you didn't catch that. But let me go through the rest of the issues with the minutes. So obviously, Mayor Chapman is both present and absent, so that's very odd. And you're about to put that in the public record. Let's see. I objected to the adoption of the agenda and the, made a motion to amend it, and they mention it, but they don't mention the actual, depth in the topics of the,
I didn't catch the typos that was just said. Matt.
I'm going through more issues, but, that one's pretty blatant, it's at the
I
top of the
see the
page.
bolded absent Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah,
James
then-
Chapman.
And again, he's right there, he's present as well, he's in attendance.
I mean, it's a typo.
You
I
did
mean, your first
if you
complaint
had read
was
it, you'd
the
have found
words
it.
were wrong, now it's just a typo.
I'm gonna continue now.
I just feel like you're singling out our city clerk.
It's your responsibility to read it and catch
I
it.
did read it.
So, under the public comments, again, they're not faithfully, captured, and they are very tailored. Again, Joe Smith gave a good critique of the dysfunction in campaigning during the meetings. The severely referenced video surveillance and employee harassment. Tabitha Hanner read from the League of Municipalities, and, some of these things were not reflected. During the, Chief Fields made some claims about, the 1033 program, and then made comments about, some picture or something alluding to me that I don't know what he was referring to, but it was not captured or reflected. It failed to reflect the dollar amounts for the missing invoices. It doesn't talk about the validity and lack of response for those invoices that we haven't paid. And then,
What invoices are you talking about?
yep, the
The
invoices.
invoice that he only received, I hadn't gotten the invoices, therefore I cannot pay him.
Why did you go retrieve them?
I found out, I heard about them, and they sent them to me. If you asked about them and found out, like, if we're 9 months behind, I'm pretty sure the city has received an invoice from them.
Why they didn't send them to the city? Since you went and retrieved them, you paid.
No, they did send them to the city. And then, let's see. Also, at the very back of the minutes, Councilman Crump made his political statements and made accusations that were accusations, and they were not, they reflected like they were facts, and there are no facts, and there's no documentation, so.
No facts about what?
Let's see, you made comments about, ethics complaints and ethics statements, and there's no.
I have the voicemails from the ethics committee.
Well,
I want proof to, I don't know, shoot from the hip.
If you've got proof, then provide it, otherwise your statements are,
I got the agent name.
the,
I got the voicemail on the phone.
well, that's fine, provide them then, because you're,
Well,
the
we
minutes.
can provide
If
the
you don't
minutes-
provide them the math, then
The,
it's
the
not real.
minutes are reflecting an accusation that you don't have, evidence of, so
Okay,
you're
well-
misrepresenting the truth. So,
All right,
you're trying to draft minutes to be political and not reflecting the truth of the matter and making statements.
any more discussion?
I think that's it for these minutes.
We make a motion, we make a motion for it.
I second.
We can put it on the big screen if we need to.
See, Matthew, you did it. You made that.
We can put it on the big screen, we got to.
Okay, let's move on, you make the motion, accept the minutes. Sandra, you second.
I'd like to amend my motion, just to make Matt happy. I'd like to amend my motion that, with the correction that Mayor Pro Tem James Chapman is taken, his name is taken out of the attendance and only left in the absent, is corrected in order to pass the minutes.
Okay, yes.
That would make it right, wouldn't it?
No.
I'm gonna open the floor after we get done.
Sorry, I've been hearing a lot over here.
I don't care what you've been hearing. Okay. You made the motion.
I second.
Any more discussion?
What's the motion?
To make the correction of taking Mayor Pro Tem Chapman out of attendance and putting him in absent.
Would we table till that was done and approved?
It's up to you, Mr. Councilman Wright.
All right, any more discussion? Darius made the motion. Ms. Cook seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, that concludes the agenda. Anybody, any council members got anything they wanna say?
So, I heard Councilman Chapman wasn't at the budget meeting, is that true?
You heard what?
Councilman Chapman wasn't at the budget meeting?
You heard that.
Yeah, is that true?
No, it's not true.
So he was there
At the what
at
meeting?
the budget meeting? The budget, you know?
Yeah, he was there.
Okay, so y'all had quorum, was it, and like you didn't inform everybody at the council when it was, and you had quorum, and did you post it publicly so that the rest of the, citizens could be there if they wanted to? So you had a business meeting with quorum, you know, not posted, you didn't even inform all the council members of when it was, nor the public. And are there minutes from this meeting? Just wanna confirm that you just admitted to violating the open meeting act, right?
I mean, if you had 4 people, that substitutes as a quorum. Should be a meeting, there should be minutes from that meeting.
And there's nowhere in writing where you stated the date for anyone else on council or the public that I'm aware of.
It was at council meeting.
It was at a meeting.
Right.
Watch the videos, we'll break and find it.
Prove it, we have it in writing. I believe the last thing I said was, let me know when it'll be. And there was never any follow-up.
So everybody knew but you.
That sounds like the truth. I mean, show me where it's in writing. But irregardless, you had a meeting with quorum, with no public notice, and with not open to the public, and no minutes. So you tell me.
Okay, do you have anything else, Matt?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, I'm gonna open the floor. You got something?
Got with those people that own their houses on Starlight with the drainage problem. I came up here and seen Mr. Jean, and he had a quote from March to fix the drainage issue. And after talking to all of them, they're on board. So I wanted to talk to the council to see if, our best case scenario would go ahead and get it approved to fix the drainage as they're coming out in August, so that we don't have to pay that $2,500 again, mobilize them. But, I also have videos and pictures of, Miss, I can't remember her name, but her garage flooding, everything in her garage is floating. There's the two houses that are at the bottom that we just fixed, both of the driveways fill up and the yards flood. And we just paid, I don't remember the dollar amount, but we paid a lot to fix that part of the road. If we don't get the drainage fixed, then we're gonna be refixing that same road here soon. And the drainage, we were under impression, I think we thought it was 41,000, but it's around 32,000. And I'm sure with our new contract that we can, get a better deal, but I'm also already coming out here to do 4 and 5 other roads. So I just wanted to bring that up to see how the council felt about that.
What are we talking about?
I just talked about last meeting, about the drainage issues, and they didn't want to, we had problems with people not wanting us to dig in their yard and tear it up.
You have an address, pictures, anything?
Yes, sir, I do.
Can you email all that to us?
You and Matt don't respond, so I don't know.
Nobody's ever emailed me. I simply asked a simple question.
I emailed you and Matt and said, let's work on this budget, no response.
Email didn't come through, I guess.
I guess it did.
Well, if you had a meeting, you still ain't got no minutes, so you still operating against state law, so.
At first you said it was because it was during the week, now you saying you didn't know, gotta pick one.
Yeah, when you have meeting minutes, what do you?
Which one? I'm waiting for you to pick a side.
If we have planning and communication, I think we
I'm
all
trying to
be
see what that is.
involved.
I showed Mr. Jean the flooding. And I'm talking about, it's from the garage to the street. Ankle high water.
I do think this highlights a bigger issue.
I'll let her know that Councilman Ray said that, it's the first time you heard about it. You don't care about it.
It's hard to spend $45,000 of taxpayer money when
It's
we're
not
not even aware of what we're
45,000.
spending on.
It wasn't 45,000.
You said 41, did you not?
I said, we thought that was it, is why y'all shot it down last time.
I think a little planning could go a long way to make all this easier, but I'll also highlight for the moment that we are still coming in and being handed stuff like moments before the council meeting starts, and like, we're supposed to have all this information 3 days before, with the intent being that was supposed to be on a Friday before the council meeting, but now we auto-schedule emails to send out Saturday at 3.
Councilman Ray said 72 hours. He was pretty adamant about that.
That's it, and
It's 726 Starlight Drive.
and so,
You wanna see the video, John?
again,
Nick, can you email?
if we have planning and we get this information before council meetings, we have time to review it, and so that we can be aware, and we're not getting caught off guard up here, with blank stuff, and if it's in the packet, then we can't say we don't have it, right? And just like the minutes that were asked to be amended at the last meeting that were not in this packet nor amended, we really need to do better and, do some planning. We scan the PDF Friday at lunchtime, put them schedule it to email Saturday at 3 p.m.
I think it's city responsibility on the flooding issue. I think, yes, by all means, we should more than adapt and take care of every situation. That is our responsibility.
A little bit of planning goes a long way.
Really, it's what it boils down to is this, a lot of these problems that are happening in Sunrise come from building that happened 20, 30 years ago. So, the drainage didn't get fixed in and put in properly then. So it's really like we're doing cleanup. So it's not like that, it ain't got nothing to do with planning when it comes to what I'm just brought up.
Sunrise was built the same time every other subdivision in here was built.
And I'm telling you what the people that were here said what happened, so I can only do with what I got, the information I got. I'm sorry, man.
Is that flooding due from a collapsed, drain pipe or something?
There's no drain pipe in there at all.
Mr. Barger, you been out to look at that area? What is your,
We've
suggestion?
been talking about this for 15 years. And the consensus was at that time, the leadership we had, that we don't do drainage, the city don't. So when this came up this time, what he's saying is actually true. When you have a rain like we've had recently, the water can't, it goes right across the street, where he's talking about, it's been just recently been repaired. Water crosses that 2-3 inches deep, goes, and this time it went in that lady's, or those people's garage. We had another serious issue there where a septic system, the pump system broke, the coupling broke, and the sewage overflowed and went the same place as you talking. So if we had a ditch there to begin with, and carried it to a cross drain, which is 2 lots down, we wouldn't have that problem, as far as the drainage part. It needs fixing, it's been that way for years.
Right.
But we've always said we don't do drainage. But we did we got Massey to come out, we got a pool on it. I thought it was 41,000, but I stand corrected, it was 37,
32.
32.
Okay. Chief, can you look at that?
So I would like for Keith to get with, or Mr. Jean, get with them and consult with them about how they're already coming out here in August to see if we can get a better deal. We already got the contract, and see if they can just piggyback that off of that. Go
Well,
ahead.
you have, for lack of a better term, you have categories in your contract that we have in place. So once we determine that, we'll be able to present you with a budget, and then you can make your choice. And we can add that at your discretion, and Massey would be obligated to do it. Now, we wanna work together with them, but they'll have to follow what the prices are in place. We'll also save on any sales tax, as a part of this. You know, typically they would buy the pipe and it would have sales tax attached to it. We get to buy that with no sales tax. And it's not a huge savings, but it's about 5%, which can add up when these projects get larger. So this is for us, for the city, it helps you.
Okay,
I'm happy to look at it and get you that budget.
okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else got anything?
No, just picking back up what Darius said, there's several flooding issues going on due to collapsed drain pipes and so on and so forth in the city limits. And, it's a very serious issue we need to look at addressing as soon as possible.
Okay. Anything else? Not, I'm gonna open the floor.
I did just a real quick one to clarify, so we modified our parking ordinance so that we can't enforce it in the rest of the city now, so it's only subdivisions.
It didn't varies.
I'm just saying that's what it states, that's what you want to do.
Okay, sir, do you have anything? Harvey?
Yes, I have some. I'd like to, I know that we talked about the streets a couple weeks ago, or 2 meetings ago, and one of the things that I want to point out is that, we're putting the seal coat on, the 6-inch base, the 2-inch binder, and probably closer to 1.5 inches or 2 inches of seal coat versus the 1 that's required. But in every case where we put the seal coat on, we've not had any issue with the streets at all. We have finished 145 new lots in the Pines of Richfield, and all of those lots are built except for, built or either coming out of the ground except for 9 on that last street. There's 37 on the last street. There's only 9 that's not, it's some form of either completion or starting to completion. But we've not had any street repairs, any issues whatsoever. Mr. Jeans looked at all those before too, and I looked at them with him. And you've already accepted, some of those streets over there because they're built out anyway. But I just wanted to mention that because I know there's the issue about the 80% built out, but everywhere we put the street according to those specifications, with seal coat and everything, we've not had any issues whatsoever. So I just wanted to point that out to the city so that you can think about that as we go forward. Now, over at phase 13, 90 of 93 lots as of 2 weeks ago, were either finished or almost finished in sector 1. We still got, 93 lots in sector 2 that have, been sold, and they've started building on that area so far, but I know that's not to the 80%, but those streets also, both East Middlebrook and, Brookhaven Lane have the seal coat and everything on them as well. Okay, just so you know. The other thing I was wanting to get a little bit of an update on is, back in, I think it was August or July, the city had said, after talking about the water improvements, that we had 432 water taps available. So I know with some of the building that has occurred since then, or, you know, reserving those water taps, how many water taps are still available right now? And I know we're talking about water improvements from Odenville and with Margaret, in conjunction with Margaret, as well as the tank, but where do we stand right this minute as far as future building and those 432 taps?
So I had to get with, Keisha on that and see how many we have available right now.
Okay, all right. And then, what is the status of the old Acton Road paving? I know they were working on that gas line, and the last I talked to the contractor with Trustful, they still had to bore under the railroad over there where the crossing is. But do you know anything about when that paving will take place?
Well, Trustful was waiting on the railroad to get a flag. And I think they contacted the wrong people. Is that right, Mr.
Yes,
Clark?
yes, sir. There was a misunderstanding about who was gonna contact the flag when they set the schedule up. Trustful thought the railroad would do it, the railroad said it's Trustful's responsibility.
And, we was on a Zoom call with them, and I think they said, probably in the next month or so.
Okay, all right. And as far as then the water improvements between, like I said, in conjunction with Margaret and Odenville, is there any work started or anything been approved to move forward with anything to improve that water situation?
We can talk with, maybe Chief could answer. What was the question?
I said, has there been anything decided in conjunction with Margaret and Odenville on the water improvements that were discussed back in the fall?
Odenville was
Or then
completed
some-
their pump station upgrades, there has been no decision made, but they have done that on the pump station.
Okay. I just think it'd be helpful to understand what those are, what the cost is, and, you know, when those would take place, when they would be finished, so that, you know, planning and going forward. I know we've talked about it, but we have more land, and we would like to see about trying to develop some of that and talk to builders, but everything seems to be sort of on hold, waiting to see what takes place with some of that. Let's see. I think that's everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you very much.
Miss, do you have anything?
No.
No, I'm talking about in front of you. David?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Tracy?
I don't.
Sir? Have anything you'd like to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, sure, if it's appropriate time.
And this Mr. Rice, he the only one that sent a resume about the attorney's job.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. Richard Rice, public interest attorney, Birmingham, 15 years of experience, and, I have worked with, several municipalities, most of the time on the plaintiff side, so I've looked at different, issues related to municipal liability and HR issues related to, you know, just making sure everybody has a fair opportunity to participate in local government. So, I met with the mayor, learned a little bit about some of the issues facing the city. I've sat through this meeting, so I've taken in that there's a little bit of saw some of the campaign signs on my way here as well. So I know there's some underlying issues, but, you know, I look at this as an opportunity to continue to do public service work, that I do in my practice on a day-to-day basis. And, I'm not really deterred by the fact that nobody else has applied, but maybe I should be. That's just call it what it is, but at the same time, like I said, to me, it's a continuation of, you know, some of the other those sacrifices I make with my practice to try to do what I believe is in the public interest. And I do believe that a certain amount of, you know, contention between elected officials is good, because there's certainly diversity out here in the public. So seeing that amongst his body, I think is a good thing, but, I also think it's important to keep the people's business moving and look beyond what you necessarily want individually, to kind of put their interests ahead of your own individually. So that's really what I'm about. I believe in compromise, but I also, you know, have integrity, and I'm willing to kind of have my own opinion and stand on my own 2 feet too. So, you know, if you all consider me, I would accept the position, and, you know, we look forward to working with you.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Problem.
Okay, sir, in the back.
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Okay, Dakota,
No.
ma'am.
No.
Sir? Behind the property? Oh, ma'am. You know? Ma'am? Ma'am, you have anything? No.
Of course.
Okay.
I wanna thank you first of all for so expeditiously cleaning out the storm drain on Woodland. They look so much better and the water's moving. But Councilman Tortorici, told me that I could file a nuisance for those lots that are still owned by the land developer. And I wanna know how to do that. Cause it's overgrown and the residents on either end are not managing it, and it's just out of control. So I don't wanna find out how I do that.
What you need to do on that, Mr. Barr?
Well, I guess we can complain to him, but I don't know what we got an ordinance that says if grass is over 12 inches high, if property's been previously cleaned off, it has to be maintained.
And
If
it
it's
has
in a
been.
natural state, we can't let them do anything.
It was cleaned off previously.
Okay. Yo, Mr. Barker, you know where it's at, Mr. Barker?
I'm so assuming they talk about all the property down on Black Creek and Colonial and Colonial.
Black Creek.
Black Creek.
Black Creek Trail.
Okay.
That property was developed or disturbed, the soil was disturbed when he did the development, so.
You know,
that's-
you know who owns it?
Pardon?
You know who owns it?
Doesn't have a problem.
Okay.
It's at the end of Black Creek, but it's also at the other end of Clover.
I say it's surrounding area, I got a complaint over every day.
Okay. Okay, sir, do you have anything?
Yeah, I wanna ask a question. What is the, required water pressure at the residences? When they build these developments, what are the, for each house, what's the required water pressure?
Keith?
It's required to be 20 PSI at the meter.
20? Is that low?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. That's a triple that.
It's pretty low, yes, sir.
That is.
Okay.
Get that out of my coffee pot.
Okay, do you have anything else, sir?
No.
Okay, Ms. Love?
Not at this time, Mayor. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Phyllis?
I'm good.
Ms. Lee?
I just want to better understand the council's function and what they do regarding all of these problems. Mr. Chapman, or Councilman Chapman, helped me get my road paved in front of my house due to all the potholes. But when is Lake Road being scheduled to be entirely paved?
Well, we got some more work coming on that, Keith, what in the next, when will Massey be out here?
In August the 11th is when they will begin. They'll probably come the week before and start cleaning it up.
They gonna pave on Lake again in August.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, ma'am?
Why is it that we do not have natural gas? I know on my street, Black Creek, and I'm staying on several other streets surrounding me, but there is some gas in some other areas of Woodland. Is there any do we have, what's the problem?
I don't-
Is there any consideration to getting gas?
I don't know
Natural
why we
gas?
don't have natural gas. Do you, Mr. Barr?
Yes, sir, the developer chose not to put it in the Black Creek area or down Clover. The gas line stops up at the intersection of Woodland Circle and Woodland Terrace. It's valved off right there. And I understand that, the developer decided he didn't want to put gas in, I don't know why.
Okay, so the developer.
And that's the final, I mean, if we had a petition where we wanted gas.
I would say that.
I'm pretty sure if you got a petition, they would bring it in.
All right. Good job.
I'll be seeing that.
Mr. Parham?
Not the moment.
Okay, ma'am? Okay, sir?
I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, a question about the ordinance that Chief Fields is talking about, parking. Because I am also very concerned, because I travel around the city, and there's some issues. If we have a fire or anything, we're gonna have issues getting those fire trucks down the road. And I'm very concerned about it. Can you explain, so everybody's clear, because we're not clear, I think.
I think that'll be a question for the.
Like
you
what,
need to know.
because an ordinance has to be passed and it has certain procedures, right? So what are the procedures to get this ordinance done?
It just was voted down.
Yeah, but what are the procedures? We have to put it to the public? What is the
No, you
procedure?
don't have to put it to public.
Oh, you just pass it? That's it?
No, after the first reading, which was last council meeting, and you can vote on it this meeting.
Was
It got
it
voted
read?
down.
I was here last council meeting, it wasn't read.
I thought the chief came up and read it.
I gave him a copy of it, gave him a copy of everything.
It was presented, but it was not read.
Okay, well, it wasn't read.
So when can we get it passed?
Well, you asked the two on the end.
There's a procedure, that's what I'm trying to find out what the procedure is.
Okay.
Because I don't want some ordinance to be passed, and then when the legal parts come in, say, well, this is not legal.
Okay.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Okay, we'll look into it.
All right,
How have
thank
y'all
you.
normally passed ordinances?
That's what
Because
we're
that's what
asking.
he's asking. How has the city normally passed an ordinance? What's the process to do that? Because I've lived here all my life, and I've never known an ordinance to be publicly posted, or, like Matt was saying, we have to have a public meeting in order to pass an ordinance. And I think he's been here, what, 3-4 years, so I know you all have passed some ordinances since he's been here.
Usually you have to present it has to be like present it first, and if you present it first and they deem it should be immediately passed, then they will suspend the rules, and once you suspend the rules, you can bring it up to a motion and everybody can vote on it. But if you don't, you can wait till the second setting, and then you can bring it back before the council, and then everybody would vote on it.
So wouldn't
It
that?
does not have to be publicly put out. The only way you do an ordinance is, once it's passed, I have to post it in 3 places once they pass the ordinance. Not before. I can't post it before you pass the ordinance.
But you said it needed to be presented, right? Is that not what Chief Fields just did at the last meeting? And I'm sorry to speak out of turn, you've already asked me, but I can't sit here anymore. You know, I was not present at the last meeting, and I'm sorry I was out of state at that time. But I'm hearing him say that he presented it.
He did.
And now you guys are voting on it, right?
No.
And it didn't pass because of the 2 on the end.
That's not what happened, that's not what
They
happened.
want him to read it.
But you just gave the directions of how to present it, and there was nothing said about having to read it. It was said that it needed to be presented, and then once it passed, you would go and put it into motion in the motions that you have to do. I didn't hear anything being said about it being read.
Well, the actual last piece of paper that we're handed that had this ordinance on it had about 15 spelling errors on it. So if we would have published something like that,
Well, first of all, why do you, put it out there? Because show me what the misspelling word was.
the last last one that you presented, this one has been corrected.
It's the same one that I made, and this is the same one I had last time, but the H had a, capital H, that was it. There wasn't no misspelling, so I knew you was gonna try that, I just put the same back out there and I put there one problem.
Can we forget about the spelling errors and just get it right? And then fix the errors afterwards?
90% of the, 90% of the words
Okay,
don't pass.
all right, let's move on.
Or sent to the city attorney for civil approval.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, McIntyre, do you have anything? Here, you have anything? Sir, ma'am? Okay, that concludes our agenda. Make a motion and meet Mr. Adjourned.
Make a motion.
That's a joke, man, damn joke.